Donald Trump's legal team facing an assault from a Democratic group that is seeking to get those lawyers disbarred, thrown out, have their licenses removed so that they're removed from the playing field. They're not on the board anymore because they did the unforgivable. They represented Donald Trump. People like Jenna Ellis, who was a part of the election battle, are now going to be receiving complaints from a very interesting group we're going to learn about, because Jenna Ellis gives it to the liberal and the left wing like she did here when she was talking to Brian Stelter.
To be litigated in court, that's what you all want, right?
That's a very easy question.
You all want this litigated in court.
Question, Brian.
Let's see what happens in court.
The only reason we have to go to court and hold you accountable is because you're unwilling to have the integrity to actually say that a factually provably false statement should never appear on the pages of any in any newspaper or media outlet around the country. That should be something so easy. I mean, didn't you learn that in media class, Brian? That should be
I
something
did learn
that
a
we
lot
can
in media class.
regardless of whether.
Did you, Brian? I'm not sure that you did, actually. But so you can see she was somebody who was on the front line, engaged in a lot of these, verbal duking it outs that took place all back during the election. And now, because of her illegality of representing the Orange Cheeto, she's under the gun. We've got Axios is reporting this scoop, and it's not really a scoop now. It's actually public because they're publishing this all over Twitter. Axios says high-powered group targets Trump lawyers' livelihoods. Get them disbarred, have their licenses revoked because they represented the wrong people, I guess. A dark money group, according to Lacan Marquet and Jonathan Swan, with ties to Democratic Party heavyweights, will spend millions this year to expose and try to disbar more than 100 lawyers who worked for Donald Trump's post-election lawsuits. People involved with the effort, tell Axios. So because they committed that mortal sin of representing somebody with whom the Democrats disagree, they now have to no longer be lawyers, right? They have to be disbarred and thrown out and canceled, essentially, because that's what I think America has come to now. This is the organization here on Twitter. The project is called the 65 Project. Hold them accountable. A bipartisan effort, yeah, right, as we'll see, to hold accountable lawyers who engage in the fraudulent abuse of the legal system to overturn election results. And here it is, to fuel an insurrection. So we're going to be one of these? We're over a year past that, and they're still going to beat this horse dead. My goodness. So this is now something that has been launched. You can see that Mark Elias is following it. Because I think he's involved in the Durham indictment. I think he's somebody who's kind of named in there, but not really. We also have Rick Wilson, I think from the Lincoln Project. They're part of this, following this. Very excited about it, I'm sure. 2,500 followers. I just saw this today. This is breaking, so those numbers are going to go up and up and up, I'm sure of it. But why is this important? Why does this matter? Well, they're going to actually file complaints. And this is a serious thing. Lawyers have to go through a lot to get their law license. Bar exam, 2 days in most states, 3 days in others. You have to go through a character and fitness application where you're getting your entire life scraped over by somebody. What happened with that parking ticket? Okay, well, let me ask about that and go get those documents back from 1987. Right, so it's a lot. And so if somebody has a complaint against your license, it is a big deal because if the state bar decides that that's justified, you get a blemish on your license or you get disbarred. You can no longer practice law anymore. It's like, well, what if you're a pilot and you can't fly a plane? Well, you're not very much use to an airline anymore, are you? Same thing happens for lawyers. So this can be a big problem, and you can see what they're trying to do is take people off of the board. Why does this matter? 65 Project began filing complaints this week, going to air ads in battleground states, hopes to deter any right-wing legal talent from signing on to future GOP efforts, chilling legal representation, including the midterms or 2024. The group takes its name from account of the lawsuits that it sought to invalidate the 2020 election. So apparently 65 different lawsuits went out, and they're going after everybody who was involved in any of it. You can see from their website, they're already out there with a number of different complaints. We see Jenna Ellis as somebody who is front and center, and all these came out on March 7th. We've got Jenna Ellis, ethics complaint. We've got Cleta Mitchell. We've got Joseph DeNova, Trump lawyers. But then we have other people. We've got ethics complaint against a vexatious attorney, somebody named Paul Davis, and attorney William Calhoun, and somebody else, Boren Epstein, right? All of these names, some people you recognize, some people you don't. So they're going after everybody who was involved in this. And this is what it looks like. Now, this is a 19-page complaint. This is the one that was filed against Jenna. We're not going to read it because it's mostly trash. But here it says, all 19 pages. I'll just show you what this cover says. We write to request that the Office of the Attorney, the bar, investigate the actions of this lawyer, Jenna Ellis, relating to her concerted effort to overturn the election. She's an insurrectionist, you see. And what they have done is they're going through and they're violating all the different rules of professional conduct. 3.3, candor towards the tribunal. They're saying she was dishonest with the court, or she was dishonest wherever she was practicing law. When she was sending letters or filing motions, they're saying she knew that she shouldn't have been doing these things and she was violating her duty of candor. Truthfulness in statements to others, 4.1, liar. She's also a liar, by the way. Respect for rights of third persons, 8.4, misconduct. So they just went through the states and they just found a bunch of different, broad types of ethical rules. And they said, well, you violated those rules, and so we're going to throw you out. They have the background and they say Trump lost and blah, blah, blah. And we can see they have this little manifesto. What is this all about? They say, we've come together to hold accountable the big lie lawyers behind the fraudulent lawsuits. Following Biden's victory, they say an army of these liar lawyers came and they failed. Despite their resounding losses in court, they're trying to ramp up litigation. The deliberate abuse of the legal system, according to who? Well, them, right? They're now the judge and the jurors. They get to decide, I guess, what's appropriate or what's not. And so they're just going to file blanket complaints against everybody involved. Every practicing lawyer swears an oath and is bound by rules of professional conduct. There are consequences to those who knowingly abuse the legal system. Sort of like what they're doing here. Everyone is entitled to their day in court unless you're Donald Trump, but there must be valid guidelines about what constitutes legitimate, valid lawsuits, which the courts decide, not this organization. Courts adjudicate, there you go, courts adjudicate disputes and determine facts. It's true. But lawyers can't lie. And so they're saying that they did lie. Some of the big lie lawyers are already being held accountable. Giuliani, and we've got Sidney Powell. And they say our goal is to send a strong message that lawyers are going to suffer professional consequences if they violate their oaths. And they're going to hold them accountable for aiding and abetting in conspiracy and insurrection. They're going to pursue legal recourse. This is being held up by Senator Tom Daschle. We've got a number of people who are involved in this. This continues on. We see this is what I think this is about. A chilling effect. They want to stop people from getting access to good lawyers. If you represent a Republican or anybody who's a right-winger, you are now going to be booted out of here. It says here a chilling effect may be caused by legal actions like the passing of a law, the decision of a court, the threat of a lawsuit. Anything like this can chill people's ability to go out there and engage in the process. This organization is being held up by these people down here. We've got former Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle down here. We have Supreme Court Chief Justice from Utah, Christine Durham. We have Melissa Moss, a Democratic Clinton administration official. And then we've got Paul Rosenweig. He's a conservative, and he's a member of the Federalist Society. All right, so we've got one, looks like sort of a conservative person who is a mega anti-Trumper, apparently. And we also know that it's being advised by this guy. David Brock founded Media Matters for America, is now advising this organization. He also runs the super PAC called American Bridge, the 21st Century, Hillary Clinton ally, and a prolific fundraiser. And he's also advising the group. So the Democrats are now trying to take out the Trump legal team, and they've got a pretty big group of people working on it, actually filing complaints to attempt to remove people's licenses out from under them. They do not want opposition out there contesting what apparently was a very, free, fair, open, honest, truthful, and completely integrous election. looking forward to the next one, aren't you? What do you think about this? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with a friend or family, and be sure to stick around because I look forward to seeing you on the next one.